so when I was born with a heart murmur, and everything was absolutely fine. It was detected at birth, no further problems, so that was it really. But when I got to the age of about 16, I started to notice that I was getting some sort of symptoms such as dizziness, maybe slight palpitations in my chest, things like that. So I mentioned it to my mum, and she took me to see the doctor, and that's when they identified that I had a bicuspid aortic valve, which is something that a lot of people can live with normally, but unfortunately the type of sort of condition that I had, it meant that my valve was deteriorating. So they knew at some point in my lifespan I may need surgery, but at the moment in time it was absolutely fine. So luckily for me, I managed to sort of live right up until the age of 27, which I am now, with no symptoms. So I had a heart condition which just meant that I could live normally really. And then it was in January 2023 that my doctor did an annual checkup, as they do often when you've got sort of a heart condition. They check you regularly, and they noticed that there'd been quite a bit of deterioration from the scan previous to that, so they referred me for an MRI, and that's when they noticed that I did need surgery. And I went for the MRI in Sheffield, which is sort of a hospital close to home where I live in Doncaster, and they offered me a couple of different options for surgery. However, the one that was best for me, for my age, my health, my fitness, and also the quality of my life, was Ross procedure. Unfortunately, no hospitals local did that, so that meant travelling to Liverpool, which was absolutely fine. So we made the visit to Liverpool around the springtime last year, and that was my first visit here, where I met Dr. Rothman, who would be my surgeon, and had some heart scans and things, and a pre-op ready for my surgery, which they estimated would be around 3 to 4 months. So the wait list as it sort of stood last springtime was 3 to 4 months. So I sort of got in my head that maybe end of spring, beginning of summer would be when my surgery would be. And I did get a surgery date for August, so it was all sort of on track. So the August appointment got cancelled, which was absolutely fine, but unfortunately I had 6 further appointments that did get cancelled, which did mean sort of, you know, getting built up for the big day and it not to happen. But that's okay, because these things happen. I knew at some point that I'd have it, and that everybody knew my condition, you know, so they knew sort of where I stood and when I needed it, and I knew that I'd be well looked after when it come to it. I finally got the definite surgery date. That was coming in for the 16th of November, so I think it was the 14th of November I had to come into hospital ready for surgery on the 16th. So I arrived, and I went down to the Maple Suite ward, which was lovely. The nurses were brilliant there, and I was there for 2 days, and then, I was there for 1 day on the 14th. My second day on the 15th, that evening, Dr. Rothman came to visit me, and he advised that my surgery that morning would be cancelled, just due to the fact that there was another patient who was extremely poorly that had been rushed into the hospital, and unfortunately if he didn't have surgery through the night, he most likely wouldn't make it to the morning. And I completely understood, you know, my situation, my condition was severe, but my symptoms were mild, so I had time, whereas there's other people out there that didn't have that time. So I understood that sometimes they have to make these difficult decisions and choose which patient comes first. So I stayed on the Maple Suite for 5 or 6 more days, and I was really well looked after. And I'm very, very grateful to Mr. Rothman, my surgeon, because he actually cancelled his day off to book not only my but one of the patient's surgery in as well, to ensure that we got it when we needed it, and to make sure that we got the best care as well, because he wanted to make sure that he was here. The surgery was about 8 hours long. They rang my family straight after to let them know that I was, surgery had finished. I was doing really well. I went straight to POCU 1. I had an incredible nurse, Rachel, there. She was wonderful, and I was there for, I think, maybe just over 24 hours. And they were brilliant, you know, they get you up quick in there, you know, it's unbelievable what they do. 1 minute you lay there, you don't think you can do anything, the next minute you're getting wheeled around. I went to garden in my wheelchair. It was lovely, honestly. They try and make it as normal as they can for you in there, because it is quite, you know, it's quite daunting when you first wake up, and obviously there's a lot of noise and a lot of people and a lot of things going on around you that you're not really aware of. So yeah, I spent just over 24 hours in POCU 1, and then Rachel took me up to Cedarwood, where I stayed for about another week. And again, the nurses and staff there were absolutely brilliant, you know, really well looked after. I couldn't have asked for anything more. And then I got discharged from the Cedarwood, about just over a week after surgery. I went home, and that's when I started sort of my own recovery. It was a bit daunting at first, because you get looked after so much in hospital, and then going home you think, I'm on my own now, what if I don't do it right? You know, you got all this medication to take and things like that. But I got discharged home sort of early December, so I enjoyed Christmas with family. I just took it really steady, obviously relaxed. I obviously had my discharge letter with all things that I could do, so, you know, slowly steady walks, build it up each week, start lifting things from really light, like slowly building it up a little bit. And then in January I could drive, so that was good, sort of bit of independence back again. And then I started running again sort of towards the very end of February, sort of beginning of March, because running was something that I used to do before having heart surgery, so it's something I wanted to get back to. I was determined to, you know, do everything I could do before, and I had my heart set on running the Great North Run, which was something that I wanted to do the year before, but because of surgery I couldn't. So at the earliest opportunity I put my name down. I managed to get a place in the ballot, but then I wanted to reach out to Liverpool Heart and Chest Hospital because they're such a small charity. You can't get a place with them for the run, so I had to get a place on the event and then be able to, you know, reach out to the charity to raise as much money as I could for them. So my company, 2XL, who I work for as well, have just agreed to donate a further £1,000, which is yet to go into the Just Giving, but it should be there before I do the run on the 8th of September. So I shout the praise of Liverpool Heart and Chest Hospital to everybody I come across, and I just think it's the most wonderful place. And I think if I hear anyone coming here, then I know that they'll be in absolutely safe hands, because it's just the most incredible hospital, and I'm very grateful. I owe my life to them, really.